Guys, what's up? How's it going? We're at Muscle Memory Wrestle Bash 2 with Jay Lethal and Black Machismo. How are you?
Which one am I? Am I Jay Lethal? Am I Black Machismo?
Whichever one you want to be.
Sometimes I have no idea. I can't remember.
Absolutely love it, Jay. And you're actually one half of my favorite matches of all time. It was you and Roderick Strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was at Death Before Dishonor. I think it was for either the TV or world title, but you guys had both the belts at the time.
Was that the match where we went an hour?
It was an hour, yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
that is the day that I found out that Roderick Strong is not real.
What do you mean he's not real?
He's a machine.
He
doesn't get tired. You can't hurt him. And he's just not a real human being. He's not a person. He's kind, but he's not real. He's just a machine. He is.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. It was a great match. One of my favorites of all time.
Around 50 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, thinking to myself, I'm so tired. Yeah. And he's barely sweating.
For sure.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is unreal.
Yeah, it was such an amazing match. And how do you go an hour long, in the ring? The cardio is unrealistic. How do you go that long in the ring?
Oh my God. Well, first, leading into it, you're just like, I hope that I can. Second, you're like, oh, well, who's my opponent? Roderick Strong? Oh, God, he's going to beat the crap out of me. Because I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you guys know, but Roderick Strong, there's two people who've chopped me the hardest I've ever been chopped in my entire life. One is Roderick Strong. The other is Samoa Joe, with a close second to Mark Briscoe. But Roddy, he's a chopping machine. So right away I'm thinking, I hope I don't have to get chopped for 60 minutes straight.
That would hurt.
That would kill me. That would kill me. But luckily there wasn't many chops, and Roddy's a complete professional. He's one of the best wrestlers. One of the coolest things about Roderick Strong is he's in his little behind-the-scenes kind of tip about in the ring, but he's a really aggressive wrestler, which makes you become aggressive too. And I feel like that's when I'm operating at a higher level. When my opponent forces me to get just as aggressive as them, then it really looks like a fight. It looks like a struggle, and then I feel like that's what produces the best matches for me. So one of my favorite opponents of all time is Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong. Amazing match. Amazing match.
Have you met Roderick?
I have not. Not in person.
Oh,
he seems like a nice guy, but not in person yet.
He's the best.
Hopefully soon. But I feel like I have to talk about this getup. To not mention this enough. You're dressed up like Black Machismo. Can I get the origin story of Black Machismo?
Okay, so in the locker room, I would always do the Macho Man voice because it was very easy for me to do. One time Kevin Nash heard it, and he was like, dude, this is my best Kevin Nash, why are you not doing that on TV? It's freaking awesome. And I was like, well, I don't want to first be made fun of.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think I'm making fun of the Macho Man. And two, I'm going to be a serious wrestler. He goes, well, once you get over all that, you'll have fun in this business. So then it took a while of him talking to me, but I realized when you're no longer afraid of looking stupid, which shouldn't be hard, we're grown men pretending to fight in our underwear, you got to get over looking silly, then you can really have fun. So it was mainly Kevin Nash's idea, and plus he said, look, no one's even talking about the Macho Man right now. So if you did this, you would help with the Macho Man name, and people would start talking about him. And that one really stuck with me. Then I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Then I was all for it after that.
Of course. I want to mention All In. You were in the first ever All In. You walked in as Ring of Honor World Champion. Now looking at All In now in this giant Wembley Stadium, what does it mean to being the company to having such a massive, massive venue for a wrestling show?
Well, let's talk about that All In for a second. I was managed, first of all, by a great friend of mine, Lanny Poffo, who recently passed away. I miss him dearly. It was Lanny's idea for me to use that jacket. The jacket that I wore on that particular event was Macho Man's legit jacket. Not many people realize that. And when I found out I was going to be using it, which was 3 days in advance, I started panicking, sweating. I was nervous. I got there the night before. Lanny came to my room and gave me the jacket. And I remember laying the jacket on the bed thinking, holy crap, this is Macho Man's real jacket. And it was so old that you couldn't rub it too rough because it started deteriorating. That's how old the jacket was. And it meant the world to me that Lanny set that up. So yeah, that event meant a lot to me. And I forgot your second question.
Oh, looking at All In now, in this giant 80K venue in Wembley, what does it mean to still be part of the company?
Oh my God,
this amazing time.
Just even without Wembley, it's an honor and a privilege, and I'm so happy to be at AEW. But when you put on top of it, we're about to, we have already sold it out. This is not just the biggest event in AEW history. This is a big monumental wrestling history event. Wembley Stadium, I think I saw a thing on there that said, we're the highest ticket selling thing in that Well, no, was not in the building, but as far as wrestling
Yeah,
goes,
in wrestling, yeah.
which is freaking awesome. Like it's just unreal. It's unreal. What a life.
What a life.
Only thing would make it sweeter is if I was doing black machismo there. But.
That would be amazing. My last 2 questions for you. I'll let you get back to meeting fans and whatnot.
Yeah,
I want to talk about.
We're meeting fans here at Wrestle Bash too.
Ric Flair, you trained him for that big match.
Yeah,
how does it feel to train Ric Flair?
Ric Flair, he's one of my students. I trained him. He's not a bad kid. We're just talking about one of my best students ever. I trained him up. I taught him a few things. I had to brush up a little bit of skills at my school, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. That kid. Dude, that Nashville thing, that whole Ric Flair thing that I got to be a part of, that was an honor too. You know what's wild to me? Think about the fact that Ric Flair and the Macho Man were 2 of my favorites growing up. I got to meet and talk with both of them, and now one of them, an idol of mine, the guy who I looked up to, is coming to, hey, can I come to your school? Will you help me brush up on some of these skills? And then, hey, do you mind doing this event with me? Hey, you mind being in my last wrestling match ever? It was unreal. It's like my brain is going to explode when I can no longer wrestle and I sit back in my rocking chair and I think about all the things I got to do. Man, my brain's going to explode.
I was going to ask you.
I keep cutting him off. This is my interview now.
It is.
I can't believe I've gotten to do some of these things that I've gotten to do. It's wild.
And my final question for you is, I want to talk about, obviously Ric Flair, but what's your funniest Satnam Singh story?
It'll never make air, but there was a promo we had to do in the locker room for esports or some television channel. But before we did the promo, I mentioned something to Satnam Singh about Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So Satnam Singh's only line was something like, remember to watch it on esports or whatever. So I do my line, Sanjay does his line, and then Satnam Singh leans in and goes, only on Disney Plus. And then, man, to us it was hilarious because this was not for Disney Plus. It was for some sporting channel, but he only said that because we had just talked about Disney Plus. But that's my funniest Satnam Singh. So it might not be funny to you, but in the moment, it's one of those stories where in the moment it's hilarious. Everybody in the room was dying.
Jay Lethal, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate this time.
Thank you. We got to end with a Mega Powers handshake.
Okay.
I'm going to put my glasses on. Right there, Mega Powers. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Jay Lethal, guys. Wrestle Bash, we're out.
We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.